It was a Sunday morning in Shelby, North Carolina, the kind where the air hums with quiet routines. Sprinklers whir, lawnmowers buzz faintly, and porch swings creak under the weight of slow sips of coffee. At the heart of this rhythm sat 9-year-old Lily Harper, sketching cartoon turtles on her iPad from a rocking chair on her grandparents' porch. Her tiny hand adjusted the feeding tube looping under her shirt, a lifeline since age 3, when a rare autoimmune disorder made solid food a risk. Lily didn't hide it. She didn't know shame. She could describe a sunset's glow on bare feet, or draw a turtle with a grin that didn't feel forced. Her mother had died from the same condition when Lily was 4, and her father had vanished soon after. Her grandparents, Tom and Evelyn Carter, had raised her ever since. Tom, a retired firefighter with a rebuilt knee from a blaze that ended his career, flipped blueberry pancakes inside. Evelyn, 72, watered her daisies with steady hands, her eyes catching the morning light. The neighborhood was a tapestry of trust, decades of shared fences and borrowed tools. But that peace was shattered when a black SUV crawled to a stop at their curb, its tinted windows screaming trouble. 2 men stepped out, their beige polos and tactical boots a mockery of authority. Their belts sagged with radios, zip ties, pepper spray, and the unmistakable shape of a taser. HOA inspection! The taller one, his voice sharp as a drill sergeant, barked. No greeting, no badge, just a demand. The shorter one clutched a clipboard, his Bluetooth earpiece blinking like he was running a sting. Tom heard the tone from the kitchen, spatula in hand, apron dusted with flour. He limped outside, his knee groaning. "Morning," he said, slow and measured. "You fellas lost?" "Not at all," the tall one snapped. "Noise violations. Improper medical displays are visible from the street." He pointed at Lily's feeding tube, her silhouette still as she clutched her iPad. Evelyn's watering can hit the ground, and water splashed on her shoes. "Excuse me?" Tom said, stepping off the porch. "That tube's a violation," the shorter one said, citing some fake. "Code 3B, HOA Section 11. Evelyn's voice cut through. "We don't have an HOA. I've lived here since '87. We vote on potholes at the church." The tall one smirked. "Shelby compliance took over last week. Silent adoption clause, Section 14.3. His hand hovered over the taser. Lily's iPad slid to her lap, a turtle in a cowboy hat frozen on the screen. The air tightened, and the street began to stir. A door slammed. A curtain twitched. Phones rose like weapons. Tom planted himself between Lily and the men, his frame solid despite the limp. "You're not cops," he said, spatula still in hand. The tall one pulled the taser free, stepping toward Lily. Her knuckles whitened, but she didn't cry. Evelyn's phone was already recording, the red dot blinking. "You don't get to intimidate a child," she shouted. The shorter man drew his taser, too, his boots crunching gravel as he advanced. That's when Tom moved, fast, like he was back in a burning building. His hand slapped the taser from the shorter man's grip, sending it spinning into a rosebush. In one fluid motion, he tackled the man to the driveway, gravel crunching under the impact. His knee screamed, but rage drowned it out. He pinned the man's wrist, his voice low. "I'm a retired firefighter, not a fool. You don't touch kids." The tall one froze, his hand darting to his belt. Pepper spray, maybe, but he didn't see the neighbor coming. Mike Lawson, 68, a former Marine with a limp from a bad parachute drop, crossed the lawn like a storm. "You threatening a sick kid?" he growled, his coffee mug still in hand. The tall one bolted for the SUV, but a Navy Honda CR-V roared backward from the driveway. Lily's cousin, Sarah, 22, a nursing student, had seen it all unfold. Her bumper clipped the man's knees, not to harm, but to stop. He stumbled, sunglasses flying, clipboard skidding across the grass. Silence gripped the street. Lily trembled, not from fear but confusion. Why her body, her tube, was a violation. Evelyn climbed the porch, wrapping her in a hug, careful of the tubing. Neighbors flooded out, old Mr. Thompson in his wheelchair, the Lee twins on bikes, even Mrs. Grayson, who hadn't left her yard in months. Phones recorded every angle. HOA? We don't have one, someone yelled. They pulled a taser on a kid with a feeding tube. Police sirens wailed, and 2 cruisers rolled in. Sergeant Linda Hayes stepped out, her eyes scanning Tom, still pinning the shorter man, then Lily, her tube visible. Citizens arrest, Tom said, voice steady. Impersonating officers, threatening a child, drawing a weapon. Evelyn pointed to the rosebush. Tasers in there. I've got it on video. The sergeant nodded. Keep filming. An officer searched the SUV, pulling out laminated IDs, printed at a Staples, no agency listed, and fake violation notices for unauthorized garden gnomes, and youth presence exceeding tranquility index. The crowd murmured, some laughing bitterly. Amazon badges, the officer said, holding up a clip with a Prime sticker. The men were cuffed, the shorter one whimpering as Tom finally stood, his knee burning. Sarah kept her foot on the tall one's chest until he was hauled up. New Jersey plates, an officer called. Rental car. The video Evelyn posted went viral, 12 million views in 12 hours. It spread from local Facebook groups to Reddit, then CNN. The caption: Fake HOA cops pull a taser on a child with a feeding tube. Her grandpa had other plans. Lily's voice in the final frame, calm amid the chaos, became a rallying cry. Can I finish my turtle now? Memes flooded the internet. A t-shirt read, Compliance this, Tom Carter. Commenters raged. I'd have broken more than their shoulders. Others praised Lily's bravery. She's stronger than most adults. The Shelby DA charged the men with impersonating officers, endangering a minor, attempted assault, and fraud. They'd run scams in Virginia and South Carolina, targeting the vulnerable, the elderly, immigrants, and disabled kids. But Shelby was different. They had footage, witnesses, and a community that wouldn't back down. The trial was swift. The jury, after watching Evelyn's video, deliberated for 19 minutes. Guilty on all counts. The neighborhood changed. Lawns sprouted signs. No HOA. Turtles welcome. Lily's turtle sketches became decals, stickers, even a mural on the library wall beside Tom's quote. Real strength is quiet until you threaten a child. Shelby banned HOAs without public votes. Neighbors, once distant, now lingered, shared stories, and traded numbers. Lily, still sketching, became a symbol, not of victimhood, but of defiance. On Good Morning America, she said, Small things protect you, like turtles or grandpas. The audience stood, clapping for decency. Tom sat on the porch weeks later, his knee braced, a new sketchpad from the police chief on the table. Lily leaned against him, drawing a turtle with a badge. HOA annoying. He chuckled. You started something, kid. She shrugged. I just drew turtles. The men, still in jail, faced their pain, dislocated shoulders from Tom's takedown, replayed in court. Justice wasn't just served, it was drawn in green crayon by a girl who refused to hide. What do you think? Was Tom's reaction justified, or did he go too far? Should neighbors have stepped in sooner? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your take on standing up to bullies and protecting those who can't fight back. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep this story alive.